It's like anything and everything. People do not like change. The older people, they're too set in their ways. But, a lot of players weren't sure about it. But I think now that they've played on it, we've had it, had it for a few years now, they're quite happy with it. They can see the benefit. It looks good. It always looks green. It's a bit different to grass where by the time after about 6 months or 7 months, you see the wear and tear on the grass greens and they look pretty terrible. But these look good all year round. The thing with grass too compared to these, if you've got 2 greens of grass, well, you take one out for maintenance for 2 or 3 months, then it comes in, the other one goes out for 2 or 3 months. So you've really got only 1 green for 6 months of the year. For 6 months, a long time to have only 1 green. So that's why most grass green clubs need to have 3 greens. So you've always got 2 in play all the time. Whereas this one here, you don't have that problem because you've got 2 in play all the time. As soon as it stops raining, you go out and play. That's the plus of any of these type of greens, because with the grass green, as soon as it's raining all morning, the game's called off immediately. So with these, it can rain for all morning and right up till, say, you start at 12 o'clock. If it stops raining at 11:30, by 12 o'clock you just go out and play normally. And not only that, you're saving on your green fees, like you don't have any cancelled bowls days. So your revenue is still there. They had 3 originally, then they sold 1, and then we've had just 2. When they did that, then they decided to put the synthetics in because of the cost. So
get more utilisation out
Well,
of it
that's right. Well, and the good thing about it too, you don't need to worry about having the greens to be rolled and marked every day. The greens are automatically marked with the lines, as you can see, they're already done. So you can play this 24/7 without having to worry about the greenkeepers who are rolling and marking it before you play.
Exactly.
And you can roll up at any time of the day. These run now about 15 seconds. But anything between 14 and 16 is a good pace, especially for the older blokes that we have here a lot of the times. They can play their bowls and they can always get up. They're not putting the bowl down when it's running 10 seconds on a wet grass green when they're finishing halfway up the green. With these, they're running the same pace every week, and it's good. Everyone enjoys their game because you haven't got bowls halfway down the green all in your eye. So it's good for those sort of blokes. And as I say, maintenance is the big thing, and cost is the big thing these days. And I think it's only a matter of time where these will just take over. We only just very limited maintenance that we need, just the surroundings, and obviously just do the lines every few months. Just redo the lines. But it's all about money factor, really.
How did the club pay for it?
Originally here, I think Ramsgate, when the club was given to Ramsgate as an agreement for 10 years, that they took over for 10 years, and they then put the greens in after that. The club here originally paid for their own greens originally, and then after that Ramsgate put them in. We've only just had them updated, I'd say about 12 months ago. They're just under 12 months.
By getting rid of 1 green, did you help subsidise the cost of these 2 synthetic greens?
Well, they sold the other green up there. Now they become they're almost $2.20 for 2 greens, which is pretty cheap. For something that should last you, say, 10 years, depending on your maintenance. Originally, when I first came here, we only had probably two rinks on a Thursday. Well, now we're getting 10 and 11 rinks on a Thursday here, which is 60, 65 players with triples, and we're getting a really good mix now on a Thursday. Everyone comes in down. It's a very big game here on a Thursday now. Everyone enjoys it, and it's right throughout the area. So it's very good for us, and financial wise for us, that's good green fees. That paid their green fees. We give them a good day for their money, and the bar training's good. So it's good overall for the club. This is the way to go for little clubs, because even if they have to borrow the money or whatever they have to do, once you put them in at your 220 cost, that's all your cost is for 10 years. I mean, with a greenkeeper, you've got greenkeepers there, I don't know, they're probably 60, 70 a year, I'm not sure what they are, and then you've got holidays and long service leave and maintenance on greens. I think the initial cost, as long as the little clubs now put these in now, it's going to be cost to start with. Overall, for 10 years, it just pays for itself in 2 years. I mean, looking at the other way, though, grass greens, it probably cost you over $1 million for 10 years. These ones cost you 200. But I've seen other sort of fabrics like this. I've seen a carpet. Haven't actually played them, but I said it looks all right. And there was other sort of ones which you stretch, but I don't think they would have been any good to us because I think they peeled a bit. These are better quality. I think that's much better for us what we get. When we did it, I wanted an orange. The ditches have to be orange, which would hide white. And the idea of having the orange not only looks better in the thing, but the orange background highlights the jack. So a lot of the older blokes, people are looking to see the jack. The orange background highlights it, makes it look bigger, and you can see it a lot clearer. And I think that's the way to go with people these days. Now we had a bloke here about 4 months ago, Neville Day, played many games for Australia, an older fella now, great player, Neville Day, and he said to me, they're lovely to play on. Not only that, he said, anybody who can't play on these, he said, can't play. Simple as that.